When dawn breaks, planes take to the air to survey damage. The sight that greets them resembles a lake, its surface deceivingly quiet. The damage doesn't show, but estimates say farmers will count their losses in the millions of dollars. Then the four-lane bulwark that links Toronto to her western suburbs, the Humber Bridge. It's totally impassable. More than 40 highways and main roads are underwater.
This isn't clay or cinder blocks. Those are 4 TTC streetcars. They were a result of an unexpected Hurricane Hazel that swept through the GTA area in 1954. Hurricane Hazel first hit North Carolina, but is expected to dissipate by the time it reached Ontario. It didn't. Instead, Hazel came back just as strong and had winds up to 120 kilometers per hour. Meteorologists labeled it as a Category 1 hurricane. The place that was impacted most by Hurricane Hazel was Raymore Drive. 32 of the 81 casualties were from Raymore Drive. How is that possible? Take a look at the satellite image of Raymore Drive, and you can clearly see how close the Humber River was to the drive. Years after the storm, an article by Adam Bunch talked about an eyewitness who was there. His name was Brian Mitchell, who was a volunteer firefighter. In the article, Brian says how the last weather report was at 9:30, and it said how even though the hurricane ripped through the Caribbean and eastern US, if it were to reach Canada, the most damage would probably be some rainfall. Since weather forecasting technology was very unpredictable back then compared to modern day technology, meteorologists weren't able to accurately determine how much impact a storm was going to give or even the storm's path. So despite poor weather prediction technology, people still trusted meteorologists and went to bed peacefully on Raymore Drive, unaware of the increasing strength of Hurricane Hazel. When Brian went to Raymore Drive, he saw dozens of houses either floating along the river or fully submerged in water. Brian also recalls seeing a man on top of his house since 80% of it was submerged underwater. Brian said at that moment, "I felt so helpless. The water was so deep, up to our chins, and all the firemen were weighed down by our equipment. It was like something out of Niagara Falls." Brian and the other firemen realized that for every person they save, one isn't saved. By morning, the city had already employed several military men to clean up the damage with flamethrowers to burn the wreckage. In the wake of the disaster, the city developed a new plan for flood control. They built dams and reservoirs. They did not want anyone living there next time a big storm hit. In total, the damages were $125 million, but when converted to today's rates, it is $1,581,876,233.63. To end it on a good note, with the help of good Samaritans and first responders like Brian, over 1,000 people were saved. So that's what happened to Raymore Drive. The houses were never rebuilt, the blocks that were underwater are now home to Raymore Park. There's a historical plaque there that says what happened on that dark night. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as it was for me to create it.